Good evening. It's wonderful to be back with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Indeed it is. And in a packed programme tonight, we had hoped to introduce you to Miss West Indies in her knitted bikini, but just before the show, someone pulled a loose thread and unravelled the Bermuda Triangle.
But we'll be meeting an hydraulics specialist who fell into an electroplating tank full of chrome today and got his pumpernickeled.
And I'm sorry to say that Flexo, the nude contortionist, can't be with us either. At rehearsals today, he took a step backwards and stood on his dignity.
And at Kilmarnock today, a man who had bought 2 packets of Woodbines appeared before the Procurator Fiscal charged with panic buying.
Turville Dinge, the celebrated goldfish fancier, died last night. This morning, a few friends attended a private ceremony and sang sea shanties, after which they flushed him down the lavatory.
Traffic warden Dymphna McCorkadale had her hat run over by a steamroller today. She tried booking the driver for speeding, but was told that the roller only went at 8 miles an hour, so she booked him for having 3 bald tyres.
Dublin police today raided the studio of Ireland's most brilliant art forger and took away 33 canvases, all signed by Pisarco.
Finally, the National Health Service's money-saving scheme for Harley Street starts tomorrow. There will only be 1 stethoscope for the whole street, but all doctors will have a party line.
But now a sketch featuring Mr. Ronnie Corbertt, who used to be a model husband, but recently took up with the Cindy doll. Now, sir, good evening.
Good evening.
What would you like to start with, sir?
I'm going to have my shoes repaired, if that's possible, is it? Stitching's all come away along the side there. Same on this one.
Yes, I see, sir, yes.
Would that be possible?
Soled and heeled, would that be, sir?
Yes, that would be nice, thank you.
Yes, how would you like them, sir? Leather or rubber or composite? What would you like, sir?
I think I'll have leather.
Yes, the leather is very good today, so yes. What would you like to follow? Would you like a nice pair of pajamas? So you see, we have a nice polka dot, we have the stripe today.
No, I'd rather gone off pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, they like, I like them, but they don't like me.
Yes, I do.
You know what it's like. No, I'll have...
Why don't you try the sauna bath, sir? Sauna and massage we have there.
Mm-hmm.
Or a little 3-card brag, you see, we have.
Yeah.
We've got the car wash and oil changeover. Frontal lobotomy, they're all good today, really.
But I'm going to be terribly awkward and have something that's not on the menu, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Do you think you could rustle me up a haircut?
Certainly, sir, yes. Do you a nice haircut? Take 20 minutes, of course. Is that all right,
That's
sir?
all right, I don't mind.
Yes. How would you like it done, sir?
I think I'll have it, sort of medium.
Medium haircut, very good, sir. Yes. What would you like with it now? A bit of Tchaikovsky, perhaps, would be nice? Or tango lessons, a bit of flower arrangement, that's nice. Origami, what about that? That's in season at the moment.
No, I'm just going to have, I'll just have a round of golf, I think.
Round of golf.
And, can you give me a few, sort of farmyard impressions on the side?
Yes, I'll bring you a selection, sir, yes, certainly. Now, what about desserts, huh?
Pudding. Now, let me see. I had the hang gliding the last time, didn't I?
Yes, I think you had it the day before yesterday, if my memory serves me incorrectly, sir.
Yes, very nice. Rather sickly, but very nice. No, I'm going to have... I know what I'm going to have. I'm going to have a small blonde, if that's
Yes,
possible.
small blonde.
Well, not necessarily blonde, but sort of 38, 24, 36 type.
Yes, certainly. I've just seen a couple in the kitchen, so they're fresh as a daisy. They came up from the coast this morning. I'll pick you one out if you like. Just leave it to me, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I say, waiter,
Yes.
Is there any chance of a little bite to eat?
Oh, well, you picked an awkward time, lunchtime. The chef's awfully busy, so I'll see if I can get you a cheese sandwich, something like that. When they came to me and asked me to say some kind words about British Rail, frankly, I told BR to be off. Then they offered me £1,000. I said, I'm not a man who can be bought. Then they offered me £2,000. Good evening. British Rail is a wonderful institution. But we do have our problems. Now, one of them is passengers. Did you know that every second, 17 men, 13 and a half women, and a brown paper parcel get onto a train? And that 17 men and 13 women get off? Though not necessarily with each other. Which only leaves half a woman and a brown paper parcel. And that's no good to anyone, is it, be honest? Oh, I don't know, though. Another problem is the weather. Now, due entirely to unforeseen circumstances, winter has arrived this year. Yes, we've got more frozen points than a topless bar at the North Pole. This map shows the lines that are affected by engineering works over this weekend. So if you're trying to go anywhere from anywhere, you'll just have to go via somewhere else. And believe it or not, some people even complain about British Rail food, saying it's not absolutely tip-top value. Well, I mean, look at this cup of tea. I mean, have we doubled the price? Certainly we have not. Mind you, we have halved the cup. And by the way, all complaints now go straight into our new British Rail suggestion box, which is, of course, automatic. There it is. Now, since we've installed our new streamlined ticket windows, many ungrateful travellers have complained that they don't like queuing an extra half hour just to get a ticket. They even claim that outside Victoria Station, ticket touts can get 10 quid for a single to Brighton. What about fares, I hear you ask? Well, British Rail are going to replace the existing fare structure with a very unfair structure. So what about the new cheap tickets? Well, this one is a monster bestseller. It's called the Runabout Rover Away Day Senior Citizens Winter Break Special. You're a one-armed old-age pensioner with a bicycling dog travelling daily between Bodmin and Arbroath, you'll get it for nothing. We'll keep on with our old favourites, of course. The Scots Away Day. Or we have, of course, this one here for divorcing couples, the Go Away and Stay Away Day. And, of course, the mother-in-law special day return. The train doesn't stop and you wave her out of the window. Right? That's it. And, of course, then we have a couple of naughty ones. We have tired businessmen needing a weekend with their secretary. We have the My Wife Doesn't Understand Me weekend. Of course, or we have, for the otherwise inclined, there's a nippy day return down to Portsmouth called Hello Sailor. Yeah. British Rail intend to maintain their standards. But now for the good news. Yes, after 100 years of research, we have perfected the robot porter. Now let's try asking him a question. I say, my man, when is the next train to Slough? Don't ask me, mate. There we are, you see. Every bit as good as the real thing. Let's test it further. I say, my good man, I wonder if you could carry this small suitcase for me. But it doesn't end there. Here is a good word for commuters, scum. But for those bona fide travellers who hearken after a good old days of steam, we have developed this. Every 20 minutes, the guard will come into your compartment and blow soot and smuts into your eye. Now, you do your bit, and we'll do our bit, and we'll try to lose £100 million of your money every year.
Yes, you see, so Sid's off work again with his leg.
What leg is that, dear?
Second leg of the darts match. He's all tensed up and erotic over it, you know. Well, he suffers from his nerves, you see.
Well, we all suffer from that, dear.
What, dear?
Sid's nerves.
Oh, yeah.
George is very erotic at the moment. Flies.
What, buttons come off?
No, flies off a handle.
Oh.
Least little thing, dear.
Oh, does he? Yeah. Of course, with Sid, it could be the strain of the new job, you see.
When did that start?
Next Monday.
Yes, it is, dear, isn't it? Surely, the shock. Shock of it all, dear. Shock does very funny things to people, you know. All trembling and all that.
Yes. Did you read in the paper about that man who had a terrible shock? His hair went all bright salmon pink.
What, with the shock?
No, a pot of paint fell on his head.
George gave me a shock the other day.
Oh, what, did he come up behind you again?
No, gave me a present. Anniversary.
Oh, did you manage to get out of it?
No, as a matter of fact, he was just reminding me, because he's got a birthday coming up shortly.
Oh, is he? Sid gave me a wonderful present once. Could have been worth hundreds.
What was it?
Raffle ticket. So what's George going to give you then, love?
A new ball cock.
Oh. That's very nice, isn't it?
Well, of course, it's not just really for me, you know, be for him as well, because both share that kind of thing.
Yes. What's the matter with his old one?
Well, it never did work, dear, not properly, you know. It made terrible noise when he pulled it.
Well, I can vouch for that myself, because it shakes the whole street, you know. You can set your clock, my old George, you know. 8:10 every morning, regular as clockwork.
Always was, dear.
Yeah. Sid's going to give me a new low-level suite, you know.
I've often thought, dear, that sofa of yours could do with reuse again. What are you going to have? Sort of uncut maquette, make it nice and soft and easy to touch?
No. No, I'm going to have a new low-level suite in the loo, dear.
Oh?
Yes, the lavatory. Yeah, he says I can have it if I'm good.
Good at what?
Just good, dear, just good. You know, obliging. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah, that sounds like his old one still. When's he going to fit the new one, then?
Well, as soon as he gets the new lock, dear, on the new lav door.
Oh, why? What's he done wrong with it, then?
Oh, dear, does everything wrong. He's got a Yale lock on back to front.
Oh, that's daft, isn't it? You could shut yourself in. Yes. Are you going to give him the key, then?
For his birthday, dear.
Oh, when's that?
Week come Friday.
Spirit of the Ouija board, are you with me? Sorry if the glass a bit sticky. He'd had an egg flipping it last night. Spirit of the Ouija board, are you with me? Well, are you with a Woolwich? If there is a spirit in the room, give me a sign. What is your name?
Me, Sid.
Sid? What, little Sid from next door?
Yeah.
Oh, dear, what a shame. Oh, how long you been there, Sid?
Well, I've only just arrived, haven't I?
Oh, that's terrible, I can't believe it, Sydney. Listen, does Lil know yet?
Yeah, I've just left her in the bedroom.
Well, at least you went the way you always hoped you would, Sid. What's it like there?
Horrible and manky, is what it's like.
Are you upstairs or down below?
I'm outside the door, George. Can I come in?
Oh, God, blimey, come on.
What are you doing?
I'm doing Ouija.
Oh, I'll come back when you're finished.
Come on in here. Wait.
Her voice is you speaking to Edie, Sammy? What's...
Edie? She's not in here. I wouldn't be sitting here with the lights out if he was in here, would I? Makes it all unnecessary. I'm not daft, am I?
What are you doing? Repairing a plug or something, a fuse?
No. I got this Ouija board, you see, from the tallyman last week,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to communicate with the dead.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be a lot of help to you, am I? I've got a job communicating to what's name living, haven't I?
No, you never know. You might be a natural receptacle, mightn't you? See, I mean, a lot of people are very sceptic about all this, but I know a bit about the supernatural, you see, because I once studied to be an average.
An average what?
Just an average, you know, someone who communicates with the departed.
You mean a medium?
I mean, some's medium and some's their average, isn't they? What I'm trying to say is I used to study at the spiritualist night school, you see. We used to stare into these crystal balls and that, but, well, I'll give it up.
What, you couldn't see any future in it, you mean?
Well, I mean, you see, they didn't take it serious. They all used to finish up playing pontoon with the tarot cards and all that, you know.
Doesn't it? Who are you trying to talk to then when you're doing all that?
I was talking to Edie.
Edie? Where is she then?
She's somewhere across the vale.
What, cross her sister's Maida Vale, you mean? What do you mean?
No. Across that misty twilight world where the soul is transported on its final journey.
She doesn't usually go to Tesco's till Saturday morning, does she? What, you mean she's dead, you mean?
Worse than that.
What's worse than dead?
She has disappeared completely off the face of the earth. She was in this room saying goodbye to me at 8 o'clock this morning. All she had to do was go down the cellar, get her basket on wheels, then down the high street shopping. That was 9 hours ago.
Oh, that's a bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is strange. Have you ever heard of the Bermondsey Triangle?
What, you mean that strange circle from which people disappeared?
Men have been seen walking down Bermondsey High Street 1 minute, and the second minute, gone.
Listen, I tell you what, that's got worse since that massage parlour opened and all.
Eve, you see, may be just another sadistic in this ever-deepening mystery. She may not have even reached the cellar.
Nor she did.
What?
No, this morning I was returning that camera to you, what I borrowed for the coronation.
Yeah.
I came past that cellar door. It was open, and I locked it.
Oh, good, thank you. Here, listen, put them lights out
Yeah.
again. I'm going to try and communicate with her this time. Come on.
I think we're on to something.
Here, put your finger on there.
Yeah.
That's it. Right, yeah. Ede, can you hear me, Ede? Listen, Ede, this is what I want to know. Where have you hid the holiday money? It's no good to you now, is it?
If I didn't know you better, I'd say that noise was coming from his cellar.
Now, I've narrowed it down to two possibilities, Sid. Either some alien spaceship in search of a human specimen has spotted her in Tesco's and has beamed her up now to some distant galaxy, or she has been shanghaied from the shopping precinct by a gang of white slavers and is even now in the clutches of an Arab prince who is treating her like a mere plaything.
Or I've locked her in the cellar.
Far-fetched, isn't it? No, come to think of it, she did lock me in the toilet this morning, fair spare.
Listen, were you being what she considered a trifle forward?
No, I wasn't. I was merely erecting her anniversary.
I reckon we ought to let her out as soon as possible.
Yeah, certainly, but not before you have spent a couple of hours furthering our search for spirits.
What, up in spiritualist school?
No, down the pub. Come on.
George, long time no see. How are you, Mark?
Well,
Oh, good, good. So am I. I had a bit of trouble with my spleens. Yes, I know most people only have one spleen. That was the trouble. Anyway, I've had mine removed by old Foskett. You know, best spleen man in the home county. I was only in hospital 3 days, 2 days convalescence, back with amalgamated colonies on the Monday. Amazing. I must tell you about that sometime. Well, how's that lovely lady of yours?
Well,
Oh, marvellous. So is Jessie, yes, bursting with health now that she's getting over that sad business of Fido. Did I tell you about the dog? Oh, well, she went roaming in old faggot wood, you know, and caught Dutch elm disease. Only case of Dutch elm disease ever recorded in the Golden Retriever. It's marvellous, isn't it? I must tell you about it sometime. How's that boy of yours? What's his name again?
Brendan.
Oh, yes, still nuts on boxing, is he? Splendid. That'll keep him out of trouble. Mensa Sands in thingamy-what.
No, he's a girl.
Oh, glad to hear it. Yes, young people making a go of things. A girl? Oh, good God, is he really? Well, no disgrace these days. You know, had he done in Denmark? Oh, damned expensive Denmark. 80p for a round of toast, you know. How much do you think a pencil sharpener cost in Copenhagen? Guess. Wrong. £1.60. I went there last year. I must tell you about it sometime. Oh, it's exciting to hear all your news. By the way, how's that old uncle of yours?
Dead.
Oh, is he really jolly good at his age? Oh, stout here, but still living in the same house.
No, we actually...
Oh, so are we. Yes. What's the point of moving? I mean, you know, if you're happy, mind you, we do envy you your place. We often feel we'd like to move to a smaller house, really. It's the land, really. Did I ever tell you I got 8 acres?
Yes, you
Oh,
did.
didn't I? Well, we have, yes. Mind you, there's some damn good rough shooting. Animals mainly, odd bird, occasional hiker. Poor old Jesse's eyes are Do you like shooting? Yes, so do I. Big bore, not small bore. I find big bore fascinating and small bore a big bore. I suppose some people are big bore people and some are small bore people. I'm definitely big bore.
Oh, yes.
You remember those upper-class people we knew in Lower Higmarsh, or was it lower-class people in Upper Higmarsh? Maybe they were middle-class people in Middlesbrough, I can never remember. Anyway, you know the ones. I mean, Tom and Ethel, was it Engelbert and Jemima, something like that. Ever see them, do you?
No, I just sit at home and stick rhubarb up my nose.
Oh, splendid. Oh, lovely. I'm glad to hear. They must look them up sometime.
Look,
Yeah.
you're not listening to one word I am
Yes,
saying.
it is, isn't it, really? Mind you, we mustn't grumble. We had it very good this summer. We had a wonderful autumn. Well, I mustn't keep all your conversation. See you later. I say, don't bother with him. He's absolute dead loss. You can't get a word out of him, my dear.
Yes, well, if you and your friends want to get in the council house, there's to have all the details, you see.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise, you'll get... There's 5 of you at the moment living in the one-bed system.
Oh, yes, there are. There are two. Yes,
yes.
there are.
Only we get a lot of people in here, you know, with fictitious names and funny occupations. You've got to be ever so careful, you see.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, I got them all down here, you see.
All right, then. I'll have all their full names, then. Who is the first, then?
Junior.
Junior. He's the youngest, is he?
No, no, that's his name, Junior.
Oh, yes. Well, what's his first name?
Samuel, Sammy.
Sammy Jr.
Yes.
Is that his full name?
No, no, he's got a middle name, Davis.
Sammy Davis Jr.? What, Sammy Davis Jr. wants a council house?
Well, a flat will do.
Tell me, what's he like?
Oh, he's a very tall blonde bloke with black hair.
Doesn't tap dance, does he?
No, 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 no. He wouldn't be any trouble.
Now, who's next?
Stewart.
Surname?
How do you mean?
Surname, you know, like, Granger. Stuart Granger, for example.
Oh, yes, that's it, yes.
Yes. Guess what?
That's his name, yes.
What, you're telling me his name's Stuart Granger?
Oh, no. He's not a film star. No, he's just playing Stewart.
Oh, I see.
Yes, Rod Stewart.
I see. What's his occupation?
Singer.
Ah, singer.
Sewing machines. He repairs them.
Next?
Taylor.
Taylor. First name?
George.
Oh, it's a nice, easy one this time, isn't it? George Taylor.
No. His name's not Taylor. He is a tailor.
Oh. All right. He's a tailor, and his name is George,
yes.
Right? George what?
Gershwin.
George Gershwin.
That's right, yes.
Taylor. Next?
Howard.
Howard.
Yes.
What's this going to be, Frankie or Trevor or something like that?
No, just Howard.
Oh.
Howard Hughes.
You telling me that's his real name?
No, that's not his real name.
Well, why does he call himself Howard Hughes?
Well, he wants people to think he's rich, you see.
Oh, I see. What is his real name?
Getty, Paul Getty.
Don't tell me his occupation is oil.
Yes, it is. Yes, he drives a tanker.
Any more?
Only me. My name is Irish, so I better spell it.
All right.
It's Sinatra. That's pronounced Sinatra.
I know how to pronounce Sinatra, don't I? You see, I suppose your first name begins with F, does it?
Yes, it does. Fred. Fred Sinatra. Now, I'm very proud of that name, you know, because that is half of a very famous film star's name, that is.
Oh, you don't say. I wonder who that could be.
Fred Astaire. Fred, you see, Fred Sinatra.
Yes, all right, I see that is. All right, Mr. Sinatra, we'll let you know as soon as a council house becomes available.
Oh, thanks very much. Who should I contact should there be any queries?
Me.
Oh, what's your name?
Hope.
Hope? Oh, Bob?
No. Guess?
Give up.
That's it.
Give up, Hope?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you. That's just about all we've got time for tonight. But before we go, a few late items of news.
The Irish team have pulled out of the round-the-world Grand Prix motor race. When asked why, they replied that they'd only hired the van for the week.
Further developments tonight in the case of the Hyde Park flasher, the man who jumps out in front of lady joggers stark naked. Eyewitnesses have helped police put together an identikit picture of his face, but are still not sure of his whereabouts.
Elspeth Bond, Lady Librarian of the Year, has at last had her baby. It was a month overdue and was fined 48p.
In Dublin tonight, Seamus O'Rourke gave himself up after tunnelling out of jail. He told mystified police officers that he was only practising for the big breakout at the end of the month.
Traffic news, a juggernaut carrying treacle is overturned on the M4. Drivers are asked to stick to the inside lane.
And mad scientists have crossed Danny LaRue with Spotty the incontinent dog and got a surprise package on Mother Kelly's doorstep.
And finally, at London Airport today, MPs returning from holidays all over the world waved their souvenirs at a waiting crowd. Mr. David Steele arrived from China and held up some china. Mr. Foote arrived from Turkey and held up a turkey. Mr. Callaghan arrived from Thailand and held up some ties. And Mrs. Thatcher arrived from Nicaragua and held up the traffic.
Good evening. It's wonderful to be with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yes, indeed it is. And in a packed programme tonight, we shall be bringing you exciting natural history film of Irish swallows flying north for the winter.
After which we'll be entertained by Elasto, the India rubber man, who caught himself in the door at White City Tube Station this evening and has gone to extraordinary lengths to get here.
But first, the news. At the Old Bailey trial today, Slasher Nobbs provided a very long alibi, signed by 3,000 people, written on a toilet roll. The prosecution described it as a tissue of lies.
Harold Thrott, the man who last week drove his car through the window of a Folkestone leathercraft shop, was fined £20 today and had his licence embossed.
extraordinary general meeting of equity, the Actors' Union, was today attended by 300 fully paid-up members and 450 fully made-up members.
The Post Office has announced that last year they received over 5 million complaints by letter and phone, and as a result made a large profit.
With Ireland's worst drought this century, now in its 13th month, Ballymena Council... I'd missed that one myself. Ballymena Council announced tonight that there'll be a rain-making ceremony in the municipal park on Tuesday, or if wet, in the town hall. But now a sketch featuring Mr. Ronnie Corbertt, whose dog got into the larder this morning, ate the alphabet soup, and then left little messages everywhere.
Come in here, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry to barge in like this without actually booking. You know, I know the management object, but I just thought I'd dodge in and generally merge in with the company. Perhaps nobody would notice.
Oh, that's quite all right, sir. Can I get you a drink, sir?
That would be very nice. I'll have,
Have a gin, yes, naturally, sir. What would you like with it, a tonic, sir?
How do you know I was going to have a gin?
With your subconscious, sir. You've mentioned it already 3 times since you come in, sir.
Have I really?
Yes, you said dodge in, barge in, and merge in. Yes, I always know what people want, you know. It's exactly the same with food. People behave like what they eat, you know, sir, yes. I always know by what they say what they're going to order.
How interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know about these sort of things, but I'd hazard a guess. You were talking absolute cod's roe, old chap.
No, not at all, sir, no.
Pure, unadulterated cabbage water.
Waiter,
What about this fella? Now, what would his favourite dish be?
would you get me some cigarettes from the bar?
Where?
From the bar.
Lamb.
Waiter, could I have my bill? Bit late. Got to make a move.
Make a what, sir?
A move. When you want to move, you want to move.
Beef.
What about that chap over there?
Quiet. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Quiet. Quiet, quiet.
Duck. Oh, yes, sir, all that. Listen to her over there.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Venison. Listen to him over there.
So I just went off for the weekend and stuffed everything into the back of the banger.
Sausages.
I wish I could, but I daren't. I'm too scared of her. Terrified. I just daren't.
What about him?
He's chicken.
Oh, yeah. I have lived most of my life in Hamburg. I love Hamburg. It is my home.
I suppose he's a hamburger?
No, sir, no. Beef stroganoff.
But he didn't mention Bert Stroganoff.
I know, he's got it all down the front of his tie.
I mean, she was absolutely wonderful. I mean, she had great big, round, you know, and that low-cut dress, well, that made them all, you know. I mean, she really had wonderful, you know.
Dumplings. I'm going to set a little test to you. I'm going to say something. I'm going to ask you to guess what I'm going to have to eat. I must go down to the sea again, to the lonely sea and sky. And all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by. And don't say fish and chips.
No, sir, you're going to start off with a nice chicken liver patty, sir. You're going to have a lamb chop with cauliflower, new potatoes, trifle, cream, and coffee.
Well, how did you know that?
That's all we got left. Good morning, Mr. Rupert Baird.
Yes, that's correct. That's me.
I wonder, could I have a word? I'm from the BBC. I'm on the team of Nationwide. The story is up there. Although your name is Rupert Baird, you're really Rupert Bear.
Well, there we are. My secret's out. I'm glad for all our sakes. Come, let's sit down. The weather's fine. We'll have some tea and cake. It's true, my mummy's name was Baird. She could have called me Freddie. She didn't want a girl or boy. She was hoping for a teddy. So while she was expecting me, her darling little Bruin, she just sat reading Rupert's books and drinking Mother's ruin.
I see. So when you came along, she didn't think it funny to bring you up as Rupert Bear.
By no means pass the honey. She dressed me in a yellow scarf and trousers with big checks. She taught me how to speak in rhyme and not to mention sex. When we played Soldiers on the lawn. Instead of Colonel Bogey, Teddy Bear's Picnic was our tune. You asked my brother Yogi.
A brother? Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, yes, in fact, I've two. One's hardly out of nappies.
And what do you call him?
Pooh. My sister's 20 and she's become more civilized, you'll find.
I see. A sort of girl in front, but with a bear behind.
Her name is Sheba and she wears a fur coat, sleek and black. And when she hugs, she has been known to break a fellow's back.
But what of you? Do you ever dream of a life more rich and fruity? Of lying on some bearskin rug with some young bearskin beauty?
Oh, no, I'm a good boy. And I do what Mummy says I should. I eat my greens and I avoid the fairies in the wood.
But tell me, Rupert, do you have a special sort of mother to bring you up this way?
Why, no, she's just like any other. But like all mummies and their kids, she's proud as proud can be. Come, let's go inside and meet her, if you finished up your tea. Oh, here she comes. I've had my tea and got a nice full tummy. This man's from Nationwide, and he's had all the honey, Mummy. Oh, thank goodness I found you. I'm absolutely desperate. My car has run out of petrol.
Yeah?
My car has run out of petrol. Do you speak English at all?
Oh, inglese, sì.
Oh, good. You understand?
Sì, inglese, sì. Bobby Charlton.
Yes, Robbie Charlton. Yeah. Well, my car has run out of petrol up the hill 10 miles back with my wife and children in it, and I have walked all the way down here to get the can of petrol to go back up the hill again. You know, I'm wondering, can you give me a lift?
Bobby Charlton.
Yes, you understand.
Yeah, Bobby Charlton, yes.
Is that the only English word you know, Bobby Charlton? Is that?
Jackie Charlton.
Yes. Well, anyway, let's start again. My car is 10 miles up the hill, you see, and I've walked all the way down here, and I can't go on anymore.
Oh, more.
Oh, you understand?
Sì, Bobby Moore. Polizia Bogatua.
Yes, I know. Anyway, it's nothing to do with that. My car, you see, my automobilia.
Automobilia, sì, James Hunt.
Well, my James Hunt is you know, won't go any more. It is stopped. My James Hunt is stopped. He has no power.
Oh, power, Tirona power.
No, not Tyrone. No, forget that. No, it is run out of. It is kaput. You see, it is stopped. You know, Ford, Chrysler, Vauxhall, kaput.
Oh, see, Ford, Chrysler, Vauxhall, kaput. See.
Yes. Anyway, it is stuck up there. You see, with my wife and children. My wife and children, husband, wife. The husband. Pelcar, Teddy Johnson, you know, Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth. Imagine I am Prince Philip.
Ah, Prince Philip, sì.
Yes. Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, viva Queen Elizabeth!
She is up there with the two children, Prince Charles, Princess Anne, you see. That is right. And the car is stuck because the car needs petrol. The gasoline. It needs food for the car. Food for the fish and chips.
Majorca, fish and chips.
Right. Only I cannot pay you for the fish and chips because I have no money. You see, I am broke. I am Dennis Healy.
Oh, Dennis Healy, Dennis Healy, Silly Billy.
However, tomorrow I will be able to pay you when the shop's open and when the banks are open. You are Corbertt. The banks, banks.
Golden banks, Pelle.
Yes. Anyway, to summarise, I want you to take your James Hunt and vroom vroom up the hill to put fish and chips in my Chrysler Ford Vauxhall. Bring down Queen Elizabeth, Queen Mother, Prince Charles, and bring them down, and I pay you tomorrow when I am no longer Dennis Healy. I pay you for the fish and chips, you see? If you do that, it will be jolly Bobby Charlton of you. You understand? You understand? I will not be able to pay you until the morning. You understand? What do you say?
Harvey Smith.
Now, tonight, instead of a joke, I'd like to relate a rather amusing little incident that happened to me a couple of days ago. In fact, I was telling it to the other members of the cast here just before we came on, and laugh. Well, what if they didn't? I mean, it was understandable, really, because, to be honest, most of us here are a little bit upset at the moment over a nasty accident that took place this afternoon in the next studio. It was during a rehearsal of one of those big variety shows. The acrobat had just put on a pair of his tights, you know, and was doing a rather novel balancing act. And he was straddling a couple of high chairs, wondering whether or not to try and do the splits, when suddenly both chairs collapsed underneath him, and he was torn between two stools. It's very tragic, especially for his wife, you know, who's now trying to pick up the pieces. It's symptomatic in a way of how everything is falling into disrepair at the BBC. This seat, for example, I have to sit on, getting more uncomfortable every week. I told the producer this morning, I said, I've had enough. I said, there's an awkward little lump in this chair. He said, don't I know it? I said, now look, there's no need for wit. That's not like you at all, I said. The solution is perfectly simple. I said, the cushion needs stuffing. And his reply is in the hands of my solicitor. However, I shouldn't really go on about our internal problems. It was a bit undiplomatic because tonight, being the last of the series, I'm pleased to say we have got the controller of BBC One in the audience. Come along for the free drinks afterwards, I suppose. I'm not going to tell you where the controller is sitting. No, I won't mention the balding head or the smell of the ready-rubbed condor because she's awfully sensitive about it. No, that's not true. That was just a bit of comedy I threw in. The controller of BBC One is, in fact, a highly distinguished and important gentleman. Or so he keeps telling us. The reason I mustn't point him out is because he is sitting with his secretary, and she is a little shy, with coconuts to match. As a matter of fact, I've known our controller for a long time now because he was, when he was head of comedy, he was one of the first who put forward the idea of this show, the Two Ronnies, starring Ronnie Barker and Norman Wisdom. Everyone could see it wasn't quite right, so they held a very big meeting. It wasn't far off, mind you. Anyway, so they held a very big meeting, and the top comedy producers, you know, the cream of the BBC, plus one or two old yogurts. And eventually my name came up as a replacement. The Two Ronnies, starring Ronnie Corbertt and Norman Wisdom. Now, it was all, to be honest, it was very flattering because at the time I was completely unknown and I didn't even recognize my own face in the mirror. And work was thin on the ground. I remember around that time I was trying to earn a crust as a small-time male stripper. No, I used to do very cheap hen parties, you know. You've been at one or two, I think. And after they'd had all the food and drink, the climax of the evening, I used to leap out of a sausage roll. Then slowly strip down to my thermal underwear. It was quite erotic, actually. A lot of women used to jump up onto the stage and feel my muscles. The rest used to jump up and feel my pulse. That is really, by the way, and has nothing to do with the incident I set out to tell you about, which occurred the other night when I'd gone along to our local Jewish pub, the Kosher Horses, for a quick laugh. Now, I'd actually gone along more for business than pleasure because I was attending a sort of union meeting
It was the monthly meeting of the Surrey branch of the Amalgamated Union of Pint-Sized Comedians, allied Tiches. And all the pint-sized comedians were present: Arthur Askey, Charlie Drake, David Steele, all there. Now, when suddenly, in the middle of the meeting, I noticed right at the other end of the bar, a fellow walked into the pub carrying a crocodile. As I watched, he went up to the bar, he said, "Excuse me, but do you serve Scotsmen in this hostelry?" The barman said, "Certainly," he said, "Well, you give me a pint of beer and 2 Scotsmen for the crocodile." Well, the barman, not wanting to cause a scene, pulled a pint and handed over 2 Scotsmen who were sitting in the corner, whereupon the crocodile promptly ate them up. 15 minutes went by, the chap came up and ordered again. He said, "A pint of beer and 2 Scotsmen for the crocodile." Once again, the barman gave him the beer and called over 2 more Scotsmen who were in the other bar, wringing out their beer mats into the glass. And again, the crocodile just ate them up. Well, this went on for another hour or so until finally the chap came back again. He said, "Same again, pint of beer and 2 Scotsmen for the crocodile." The barman said, "I'm sorry, we're clean out of Scotsmen. We've got none left. We've eaten them all." And to my horror, his eyes travelled up the bar to the table where my party was sitting. He said, "I'll tell you what, though," he said, "we haven't got any Scotsmen." He said, "But do you think he'd fancy Ronnie, Corbertt, Arthur Askey and Charlie Drake?" The chap said, "Shh, for God's sake, whatever you do, don't start him on the shorts."
Send the next one in, will you, Miss Rennick?
Mr. Fanshawe?
Yes, that's right. Come in.
Come in? What, into your office?
Yes, of course, yes.
Right. Honey, sorry, wait a minute. I've realised I'm standing on your carpet. I'm sorry, I am standing on your carpet. I leave immediately if you don't mind.
Come back here. Mr. Toady, isn't it?
That's right.
Come about a job, have you?
Oh, yes, sir, how observant of you. That's right, sir, yes, I've come.
Well, do sit down, will you?
No, I'd rather not, if you don't mind. I'd just stand here and grovel, if you don't mind.
All right, whatever makes you comfortable. Yes. Cigar?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I should have thought of that whenever I came in. Of course, have one, by all means.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions, Mr. Toady. First of all, what do you think of my shoes?
Oh, they're absolutely magnificent, sir. I only hope that one day I can aspire to a pair of such grandeur and magnitude.
You haven't seen them yet, Toady. They're under the desk.
Oh, these shoes? Oh, they are wonderful, sir. They are really, wonderful. Oh, they taste absolutely delicious. They really are.
You can get up now. Have you got any references, Toady?
Well, I have this from my previous employee.
What's this?
It's an autograph.
To Uriah Toady, my favourite bootlicker. I see. You've always been a bit of a bootlicker, have you?
Well, I like to think so, sir, yes.
Would you mind crawling around on the floor for a few moments?
Oh, that's wonderful. What a lovely carpet this is.
Well, then tell me about your education.
Well, sir, not much of an education. I mean, unless you count Cambridge. I mean, I've just spent...
Cambridge? You went to Cambridge, did you?
Yes.
I went to Birmingham Polytechnic myself.
Oh, lucky you. Oh, dear. Oh, how I wanted to go to Birmingham Polytechnic. I wanted a place there. But I ended up at measly old King's College.
Well, now, I take it you know what the Post is, do you, Toady?
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, it's company yes man.
Yes,
see?
sir, yes.
Yes, now, you look to me the most sycophantic, snivelling, weak-kneed sort of little swine that's ever come to me.
Yes, thank you very much.
And I take it that your heart is set on it, is
Yes,
it?
it is indeed, sir.
Good. Well, it's my great pleasure to tell you that you failed.
Oh, thank you very much. That's absolutely terrific. I bet. Failed?
Yes, failed, you pimply little smart aleck, because I'm absolutely tired of people saying yes to me all the time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes,
there you
yes,
are, you
yes,
see.
sir.
It's yes, all the time. If I hear one more person saying yes to me once more, I shall go stark, staring, raving mad. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Miss Rennick, show Mr. Toady out, please.
Yes, sir.
There you are, you see. She says yes to me. Even she says yes to me all the time.
Well, that's all we have time for in this series, but before we leave you, a few items of late news.
Miss Raquel Welch, in an American TV interview today, talked about the advantages she'd had in her acting career. She admitted that her bust had opened doors for him.
Latest bulletins say that the porter who sat on a red-hot cinder at King's Cross Station is making good progress. He was right on time as he steamed through Newcastle.
And happy news tonight from Lord George Davidson's circus. The tattooed lady is pregnant, and both she and her husband, the India rubber man, are very happy. They don't mind if it's a boy or a girl as long as it fits into the canon.
Here's some late football news. The St. John's Ambulance 11 and Hypochondriacs United game has just gone into the 265th minute of injury time.
And popping through your letterbox tomorrow morning will be a little message from the post office promising you a much faster delivery service in 1976.
Finally, there was an ugly moment today at the Kilburn Biograph Cinema when Seamus Killick applied for the job of projectionist. He was asked to fill in a questionnaire, so he went outside and punched the doorman.
And next series, in a new feature entitled The Greatest Shock of My Life, we shall be hearing from the one-legged Scotsman in a kilt about the time he was standing in the lampshade department at Heels. And an assistant came round putting in light bulbs.
Until then, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night.